you doing?
Yo.
Welcome back to Leather Helmet Fandom Sports Podcast. Today you are joined by me and Josh Konsman. And this week is now the second week of the NFL, or going into the second week of the NFL. We're talking some sportsbook bets over on FanDuel is the main app we use, but obviously we tinkle. We dip into the other apps as well, depending on what kind of promos they got going on and whatnot. But I would suggest using FanDuel because I believe it is the best app in the game. But we're gonna go over last week's bets. If you watched our podcast, great. If you watched our reels, great. Either way, we got a combined profit of minus 6.36 units. And we got Josh going in at minus 3.67, I believe that says.
Yep.
So he took the L this week versus me on the minus 2.7.
Honestly, I feel good, though, because I started off -7 because of Jahmyr Gibbs' ladder. And other than that, it's just been a slow climb up of when.
Yeah.
I think you went the opposite way.
No, I started off bad. The podcast was bad. If you watched our podcast last week, I did very bad on the podcast itself. But as far as reels went, I went 2-2. I started off 2-0, and then I lost and went 0-2. But I mean, we got what's his name, Rodgers, going out the first three plays.
Yeah, it's a bad beat.
So obviously, it's kind of beat for me since I took Wilson's over receptions, and then the other day I had Hockenson over receptions at 6.5 or 5.5. No, it's 4.5. And then I needed Goddard to get 25 yards, and this dude gets 23 yards with 6 receptions. What do you suck or something? So I'm done with him. That's the last time I'm ever.
I just don't get why are they schemed up Goddard for a screen pass.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
And then they use Swift literally as a rushing down big back or something when he's freaking 5'9", 215 pounds.
Yeah, but he can do it. So.
I get he can do it. I'm not saying he can't, but literally I could get to that weight if I trained like an NFL player, and I'm that exact same height. So I don't view myself as a running heavy down back work dude, but that's how they use them. Obviously the O-line's really good.
All right, so recap, goal stole 100 units, so we got 106 units to make up for.
Hell yeah.
So since I was more negative than you're negative, I'll spin the wheel. Let's get the new redesigned wheel of whatever.
Each week, whoever loses will be spinning the wheel, and the following week on the podcast, they will be doing whatever it is. So obviously this week we won't have to do anything, but the following week, next week, we will be doing something on the podcast and then spin for the following week after that. Right, so let's get right into it.
We got.
Josh, you can explain everything that goes down on what this is.
Oh, there's no explaining this one. I got. Oh, what is it?
What is that? That's in the middle. It's split.
Oh, no, I think that's Rep It Hard. We gotta blow this up.
Does it not say it?
I thought it does say it. Hold up. Why is it not?
It went away. It doesn't say it.
Results. Rep It Hard.
Rep It Hard.
Rep It Hard is the result. Is right on the line.
That thing where? What, wild. Explain it. What is Rep It Hard?
All right, so Rep It Hard. I believe it's our legging one.
Yeah, that's
so it's going to be
for the Super Bowl.
Buy and wear your least favorite. So we switched it up from our favorite team to our least favorite teams. So we got to wear our least favorite team, NFL team's leggings or dress at a bar/restaurant. And your picture goes on social media. So I got my least favorite team is the Giants. I never liked them. They're really boring. They're just a bad franchise. There's bad franchises like the Bears, the Browns, but at least there's a little bit of excitement behind them. There's no excitement behind the Giants ever. They always get boring, capable QBs. They had put big signings on people like Kenny Galladay that do nothing.
You know what the Giants do have, though? More Super Bowls than the Eagles.
The only thing Giants have is literally the Saquon Barkley. That's it.
Nowadays, yeah.
That's all they have. There's nothing going for them. They're boring. They share freaking state. But yeah, I don't like their logo. It's boring.
Since 2017, they've been nothing.
But now I got to get some Giants leggings. So,
all right.
See them hot boys.
So
hopefully they're on sale because they suck so much.
So hope you're getting the positive units this week for those.
Oh, I'm already in the
purchase.
positive. Woo-hoo. We 2-0 in the last 2 hits.
I'm
or 3-0.
I'm 0-2. No.
Yeah, you want the exact opposite.
I'm negative 2 units already. All right, well, let's get right into this week's bets. We decided we're going to take it down a notch. Josh can decide if he wants to, but I'm not doing it as far as deep analyst goes into my bets. If you guys want to hit us up and ask why or whatever, you can let me know. I definitely take a deep dive when I actually place my bets, but as far as explaining, I don't feel like dragging it on for you guys. I'd rather give you what you need, and if you want to follow and tag along, then great. If not, then it is what it is. So.
Stay with our lower odds. What you got this week? Any spreads or over-unders?
Spreads and over-unders. I got a game I really like is Chargers minus 3.5 for minus 104. I took that at 1 unit. I just think the Chargers are a way better team than the Titans. Yes. I believe Hopkins has some kind of injury. I don't think he's not going to play, meaning I think he's going to play. But either way, if he's even hobbled a little bit, then that's going to hurt him a lot because they really don't have anything in the passing game. Burks didn't look that great last week. Plus, Tannehill threw for 3 picks, which I think he's going to at least throw for 1 if you're going to throw for 3 versus who'd they play last week? Titans.
I
forget who they played.
Or won by 1 point.
They lost. Falcons? I know they lost. Yeah, no, it wasn't Falcons. Maybe I forget who it was. But either way, Chargers offense is just going to literally blow it through the roof in this one. So I can't see Titans holding it.
Lost by 1 point to the Saints.
Saints. Okay. Which Saints defense is obviously great, but and Chargers is
I just was more impressed with, or not impressed, the opposite, how bad the Titans secondary was. Yeah. And, like, they let up so many yards to Olave and Michael Thomas. And, like, if you watch the game, it was just back-to-back passes.
That's the thing, that the front's actually really, really stout, which obviously doesn't really matter when the Chargers throw the ball 24/7.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eckler's not going to play with them, so that takes a little bit. But I think Kelly can step up to the plate, which got him in fantasy. Everyone's going to dip on me putting too much fab into it, but it is what it is.
He's just not big enough pass catcher for me.
He'll do it. He'll get it done this week versus Titans, I think, for sure. But, yeah, that's my spread. You got any other spreads?
So I got actually a spread over-under combo that I was just trying to play really safe with, but I like it a lot. It almost feels like I'm not going to say because it's my lock. But
all right, then I'm just gonna take over the spreads. I got multiple spreads. I got a 5-leg parlay spread.
Oh, we're going right to long shots.
Well, it's not a long shot. I'm taking half a unit. A quarter a unit on it. But it is a 5-leg parlay for all spreads. These are like basically all the games I like for spread wise. I would take them individually unit, but I kind of just want to try to put a little bit in there and then win big. I got Green Bay Packers minus 1.5 versus Falcons. I think Packers looked very good last week. And Love showed great signs of being able to hold it down. Obviously, Aaron Jones might not play as well, but we all know A.J. Dillon can go get in there and do the exact same thing, basically. While the Falcons, their run game is amazing, but their offensive line is not as good as far as rushing goes. Like, obviously, when you have an O-line and you're just running the ball nonstop, you're moving forward. So it's a lot easier than it is strouting back and being a pass protect offense, which they cannot do. So I think with them being like that, they're not going to be able to stay up with the Packers that are way more fast-paced. Plus, the Packers' secondary is very good. So I definitely don't think they're going to be able to pass. But the Falcons will be able to get it done during the run game. But at minus 1.5, I just easily see the Packers winning this out. I don't think Ritter's going to be anything special at all this year. And I could easily see him throwing 150 or less pass yards this game, to be honest. But I'm not going to dabble in that because obviously anything can happen as far as the deep pass goes. The next spread I got is Giants.
These are all parlayed, right?
Yeah. The next one is the Chargers minus 3. Did I take a minus 3? What did I just say? Yeah, minus 3. The next leg is Chargers minus 3. The following one is Giants minus 4.5. They're playing the Cardinals, let's be honest. And the Giants got their shit pushed in last week versus the Cowboys, but I think that's the Cowboys defense showing what they're going to be this year rather than the Giants showing what they're not going to be this year. And I think the Giants can handle their business, especially with Connor being questionable for the game. And that's basically all they got. They did nothing in the passing game last week. Their defense looked pretty decent, though. I will give them that. But I'm taking Giants -4.5. The next leg is Dolphins -2. They play Patriots at Patriots. That one's going to be a little bit tough. But I just can't see the Patriots holding Dolphins. Like, we're talking about the Eagles. The Eagles, the way they looked in the first quarter, dude, they should have blew out the Patriots, and then all of a sudden they just stopped. And I view the Dolphins offense way more fast-paced and way more just, like, explosive than Eagles are. And they're not scared to take those fourth down and longs because they know what they have as far as their offensive weapon goes. I don't know if Waddle's playing or not, but I did see a question mark on him. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the questionable tag, but I'm pretty sure he'll play.
Yeah. So hopefully he plays because that would be a big miss if they don't get that. And then my last one is Saints -2.5. I mean, they're playing Panthers. This one was a little bit juiced at -122, but they're playing the Panthers. I think Panthers are going to be one of the 5 worst teams in the league, if not the top 3 worst, just because I'm so down on them this year, and they really have nothing offensively going for them whatsoever. And defensively, they just lost their best corner in the game. I think his name's Thorne something, right? He was a rookie last year, and he popped up, but he's out for some time. I'm not sure exactly how long, so I'm taking that. And that gets you a plus 2,379, and those are my spreads for the week. But you want to move on to
I got
profits?
I got a couple spreads and what's it called. So this one I pushed the spreads a little bit. I used alternate spreads on a 2-leg parlay. It's not going to be my long shot, but it definitely is a long shot. I have the Denver Broncos -9.5 and the Carolina Panthers -10.5. Wow, that is not the bet I was supposed to make.
I was going to say Panthers -10.5, brother.
So that was supposed to be Saints. No wonder my odds are so good. Well, it's a good thing I put like
Nothing on it.
But the real bet is supposed to be Saints -10.5 and Broncos -9.5. So I put them two together. I'm gonna cash that out real quick.
That's insane.
Put those two together. Let's see what we get because I don't even know anymore. I was only gonna put 0.1 units on it. Let me just check for y'all real quick. Saints alternate spread.
While he's doing that, I apologize for the light. We'll get it fixed next week. Promise that. We're trying to figure out what's working in this basement of Josh's new house. So bear with us for right now. Obviously,
I said
we'll
Broncos
do what we can.
-9.5. I really like the Broncos this week. I feel like the Commanders played awful versus the Cardinals.
Yep.
They were taking their O-line was taking a lot of pressure to their Sam Howell, their rookie quarterback, and because of it, they just were not playing as well as they should be with the weapons they have. And I think the Broncos defense is still really elite. So I think the Commanders are going to struggle big time.
I wouldn't say elite, but they're definitely good.
They're pretty
Above
elite.
good.
Where's Broncos? All right, -9.5. I think they kept last year the people the most. So it's plus 971 odds. So we'll just put a quarter unit on it. 0.25
And this is for
units.
Saints -10.5.
Huh?
This is Saints
So this
-10.5.
is Saints, both Saints and Broncos -9.5.
Okay.
So both of them -9.5 alternate spread. They got to win by 10 points each. I got a quarter unit on that.
So even though you're only dropping a quarter, you feel pretty confident in the Saints.
Yeah. So my other
glad with that.
one. Log back in. What the hell? So my other one. Why is it now? It's making me log back in. I gotta love it. It had the Saints money line parlayed with another money line. Let me check for y'all because I got a bigger bet on that one. I still can't believe I put that in. I feel like I do that sometimes because the spreads, like when you scroll down, it doesn't show the team scrolling with it. Fix that, FanDuel.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, so yeah, those two -9.5 a quarter unit, and then my money line bet is the same thing: Broncos and Saints money line You get it at plus 151 odds.
That's plus money. Wow.
Yeah, for both those money lines. So I got 2 units on that.
And Broncos play who?
Play the Commanders.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bet, right?
Yeah, it is a good bet.
Yeah.
All right.
So 2 units on that, and then you got any props? I got some props.
Yeah, we got some. We always got some props over here at Leather Helmet. That's for sure. The first prop I got, one thing FanDuel's got to fix too is future bets got to go on a different screen than freaking regular ones.
Yeah, you should be able to edit like your.
Yeah. My first one is Robert Woods. We got the good old Woody boy.
You're going over?
I'm taking his over 34 and a half
snap.
receiving yards.
You're Robert Woods D-bag.
This is Colts versus Texans. And I
He had like 10 targets.
don't really like any of the players in this game or really care to watch this game, but the lines were out before anything else. So I figured I'd dive into it and, see what's out there. And I was like, oh, Robert Woods, let's see what he does nowadays. So last week he got 57 yards for 6 receptions versus Baltimore. And now he's obviously over in Texans. He was on Titans, but now he's with Texans, I believe. Yeah. And it's just the sure fact of them playing Colts, which I don't think really showed good defense last week. Their offense surprised me. Richardson surprised me for sure, especially in the passing game. But I already knew what he was going to do in his run game. And this is just so low. This is almost like a good tight end number, while basically it's Woods and Collins on Texans that are
Nico Collins,
1 and 2.
Yeah.
So they're like the 1 and 2. Whoever's the one, I don't really
comes
know.
back possibly this week.
I'm fine with him coming back. It's Robert Woods. He plays the slot, hopefully still. Like I said, I don't really watch it. Probably won't watch it. But I'm taking Robert Woods over receiving 34 and a half at minus 114 for 1 unit. Gotta love my boy Robbie Woods. That's for sure. And then the second one on the same game is Damian Pierce, another player I really don't like. Same game, don't like.
Love him.
Over 59 and a half rushing yards for 1 unit at minus 114. And those are my 2 prop bets of the Colts versus Texans. What do you got?
So some props I got some unders. I got
Unders. I hate unders.
Christian Kirk
under props. Okay.
4.5 total receptions of the. So he's on Jacksonville Jaguars. He's still hyped up from the year before because he had a big year. The books are hyping him up because last year versus the Chiefs, this man had like 12 targets and 10 targets and had like 100+ yards versus them. Let me just tell you, Ridley's here. He's here to stay. He is the lead target. They have weapons everywhere. The ball's going to get spread. Christian Kirk will be lucky to see 5 targets. So for him to catch every single ball is very unlikely to happen. And I really put his targets more at like 4. So there's no possible way he gets over 4.5 receptions. I do think he's going to get a little more work than he did last week. Last week he was only at 60% snaps. Ridley was in the 90s, and Zay Jones was almost in the 90s too. So Zay Jones is coming up as a go-to guy for Lawrence over Christian Kirk. So yeah, I like this bet. I got actually 1.5 units on it at negative 136 odds.
All right.
Another prop. So piggybacking on that with the same game lay parlay. Still got Christian Kirk under 4.5 receptions. I got Jerick McKinnon over 17.5 receiving yards. I just think they're going to look for weapons after that abysmal of a week 1. They're going to try to get McKinnon the ball more.
What's his receptions?
Since he actually can catch the ball. Over 17.5 receiving yards. He had
receiving yards,
10 yards last week on 1 target and 1 reception.
They didn't give him the ball at all.
Yeah.
They ran it too much, to be honest.
Exactly. They passed the ball to Pacheco 5 times, 6 times.
That was very weird.
So I think they're going to use McKinnon a little bit more just because he's, 1, more versatile, and 2, he is the better pass catcher to probably every receiver they have right now.
Yeah.
And then I parlayed that with the last one of Chargers negative 2.5, which you explained.
Yeah.
So I like all of them together, the same game plus parlay. So it's 2 different games, Chargers, Titans, and the Jags and Chiefs. You get plus 222 odds. Oh, no, that's for the one. You get plus 503 odds.
Mm.
I got a half unit on that. And I think that's all my props for the week.
Let me stay.
Oh, wait, I got one more.
Let me stay in the same
But
game
that's
real
my
fast.
long shot, so we'll wait for the long shot.
Same game, which was Chiefs versus Jaguars. Josh was talking about. I got Calvin Ridley over 72.5 receiving yards, while Travis Kelce gets a touchdown as well for plus 214. I mean, Kelce didn't play last week, and we just saw how shitty the Chiefs are without him. And obviously, you can say, well, the receivers dropped the ball, so if they caught him, then they would have been fine. Cool, yeah, I agree, but literally that just means that Kelsey's going to come back and Mahomes is going to be like, yeah, I can't give it to anyone besides Mahomes. Thought about his receptions, but I was like, who knows? Who knows what will happen, especially with the way they played Pacheco, like you said last week. Don't really want to dabble into the receptions again after already taking an L. And I know my boy Kelsey is the number one target he looks for. You know KC's going to be in the end zone quite as often as the Jaguars will. I think this is a high-scoring game. Not sure what it's at over-under.
It's the highest
but,
of the week.
Exactly, but Kelsey is going to for sure get that touchdown. I think it's at like minus 150, which is ridiculous, and that's why I parlayed it with Ridley's over. Like Josh said, Ridley's here to stay. They have him at 72.5 receiving yards. I think sure in some time, in some weeks, they're going to be raising this, and he's going to be more of a high 80s over-under type guy.
If
because
he keeps getting the targets he gets.
Yeah. Because this dude is literally so talented. If you look at his 2020 year numbers, which is why we talked about in the beginning of the year in our rankings, literally we're so high on him strictly because he's so talented and he can do everything that you need him to do. And as far as the red zone goes, he can do that as well. So I'm just going to be taking him with Kelsey at plus 214 for 1 unit. And then
That's just the 2 legs, right?
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yep. And then the other one is, like I said, reception goes, dabbled in it, half a unit. Kelsey, first team touchdown scorer, while Kelsey gets over 6.5 receptions. The 6.5 receptions ones is the iffy one. Obviously, first team touchdown scorer is one as well, but that's plus 414 for a half a unit.
A little too much risk for that first touchdown crap.
But
he hits it so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's KC. This is like if you're going to give me any team, this is the number one guy I feel confident getting like the first touchdown out of everyone. So I'm gonna take that. And then another one I have is not different game is Saquon Barkley to get a touchdown at minus 120. It's a little bit juiced, but I'm taking a unit on that.
Giants
they play Cardinals. There's no doubt in my mind.
I love that.
With Waller having hamstring issues, no doubt in my mind Barkley's not going to get a touchdown. He didn't get one last week either. Wasn't used much, to be honest, at all. And obviously they got destroyed, so there's not much to say. But when you're going from Cowboys defense to Cardinals defense, which they did pretty good last week, but they did it versus Washington.
I like that.
I'm there's no way I don't see it. You got any other bets?
So I got my long shot and my lock left.
All right, then let's wait until I do my other props. I got Barkley over 19.5 receiving yards, minus 114 for 1 unit.
What do you have last week? That seems like low for him.
Not sure. You could take a look.
Take a look.
And then the Giants, I don't know if I said this already, but Giants minus 4.5 at minus 110. I'm taking 1 unit on that. I know I put in my parlay, but I don't know if I said it as my spreads. And then another game I got is Ravens versus Bengals. I got Chase over 79.5 receiving yards. The Bengals were awful, like completely awful last week versus the Browns. They got another divisional. Wasn't versus Browns. Who was it versus? Was it versus
Bengals lose to? They lost the Browns.
Yeah. So now they got another divisional game. But I think the Bengals can actually show up, and I think Chase is at the point where he's pissed. And when you give 8 targets to Higgins and he doesn't get one single catch, and Chase, like we already talked about, gets 33% of the receptions or the snap looks. What was the stat we said in the beginning of the year? Chase gets like 33% target share, right? I think that's what it is.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
So basically, when Burrow's about to snap it, he's going to be throwing to Chase majority of the time. And with Higgins not getting more than 8, then I can't see that happening whatsoever. That Chase doesn't go over this. All right.
Back
and we're back. Another game I got is my last prop, I believe. Yes, it is my last prop.
Got a lot on the line here.
I do. We're going big this week. We're
you
going
better
big this
hit.
week, especially with this lock. You're about to hit it. You're about to hear. I got Packers versus Falcons. Bijan Robinson to get his touchdown. Love this dude. If you watched him last week, obviously you have Tyler Algier that is going to take away work from him, and he could easily take away this touchdown from him. But Bijan Robinson is so talented, it is unreal. And that offensive line is so good at run blocking that I just can't see them not getting in the end zone with him. And I just pray that he doesn't break away with some crazy running yard and then Tyler Algier takes it and then Green Bay just holds him to like 1 or 2 touchdowns. That would be very devastating. But I'm going to take Bijan Robinson touchdown with a parlay of Robinson getting 60 plus rushing yards, which is juiced from his like 50 something. I think he's right at right now, 50 high 50s. So I took an alternate at plus 60 rushing yards for plus 259 for 1 unit. So I just believe in his run game. I don't know why me and Josh both questioned why he only got 10 attempts last week, while Tyler Algier got more than him when the game wasn't really a blowout game at all. But I think that's more has to do with just him getting eased into the game and as far as the team goes and just seeing what he can do. He got 6 targets for receptions and caught all of them. So he's going to be part of the receiving game as well. But this dude could literally break away and get a home run touchdown.
He looked like Swift did last night.
Yeah, definitely. If they fed him, yeah, way better actually. If they feed him like Swift, dude, like he could literally have that kind of game. So there's just no doubt in my mind that he's going to be elite in this game as well versus Green Bay when Green Bay's secondary is good when their front's not as good. And he should be able to get the job done. Obviously, anything can happen, but he should be able to get the job done. Let's go right into our long shots.
Pew pew. So our long shots. So any of these hit, we got a giveaway coming your way. But my long shot of the week is plus 1,240 odds.
My long shot of the week is, you said 1,200?
Yeah, got to be over 1,000.
1,700.
Okay.
688.
Wait, what? 17,000?
17,000.
I'm only at 1,000.
Yeah, I'm at 17,000.
Okay, whatever.
It's a bunch of touchdowns, but 17,000.
All right, well, mine's a little safer. So let's go with my 5-legger. So I'm pretty much piggybacking. So if Christian Kirk has a good game, I'm probably going to have a bad week. Anyways, Christian Kirk under 44.5 receiving yards. Christian Kirk under 4.5 total receptions. All right, moving on to the next game. We got the Broncos game going over 38.5 total points. So I think the over-under, even though it's super low, and I get it because of how often the Broncos keep the game just close and low, I know from watching Russell Wilson, he has really strange blow-up games where he has 3 or 4 touchdowns. This is going to be one of the games. So total points over 38.5 and Broncos to cover the negative 3.5 spread. As I spoke about earlier, I think they're going to blow them out or at least stay safely ahead. And then the last leg, we got some hate on Mr. Ryan Tannehill. He threw 3 interceptions last week, as you said. I think they're going to try to pass it even less, especially with Hopkins possibly out. So we got under 30.5 pass attempts.
I like
5 legs.
I like it.
Plus 1,240, 1 unit. Smack! That's a hit.
Now, how are we doing this year just so we can describe it? Are we doing these long shots part of our units? Because I really don't like doing that, especially if we're doing giveaways.
What we're going to do is just count it as the giveaway, and that's it.
Yeah.
But we still got to put it out there so they know to bet it.
What our units go on, it doesn't matter. They're not going to do this long shot.
We're not counting.
This is just our long shots.
Yeah. We're not counting the 1 unit against us.
Right, but I mean, I don't even think they should go out and repeat our long shots. This is just us saying,
they should do this long shot, but they shouldn't put a whole unit on it. We're just putting a unit to give a good giveaway.
Right. But
if it was a normal, responsible gaming, I would say put 0.1 units on this.
But yeah, exactly. You can dabble in with us and have some fun, but don't blow your money on it, and don't even think you need to put a unit on it. But I'm gonna do my long shot parlay. It's a 7-legger. all touchdowns. All right, here we go.
God.
If you guys want to switch it up with the first leg, because the first leg is the one I don't like, and I couldn't get it because Falcons lines weren't out yet, but now they're out, you can. So if the first leg is Jahmyr Gibbs to get a touchdown versus the line versus Seahawks. That's at plus 130.
Good.
Screw all the odds. I'm just gonna tell you the end thing.
Yeah, it's good.
So if you want to switch it out, that's fine because Gibbs didn't really get used that much compared to Montgomery last week, which I don't know why. Yeah, he should have got it. I understand. But if you want to switch that out with Robinson, go for it. I think Robinson should easily get a touchdown. You get like a little bit less odds, but it's nothing crazy. The next leg I got Chase touchdown. Didn't get a touchdown last week playing the Ravens. Right. I think he's going to compete for that touchdown. He had like the most touchdowns last year, or he's in the top 5 as far as any player to get touchdowns. So he scores a lot. Kelsey, touchdown.
Juice coming. Keep it.
It's gonna happen. Barkley, touchdown.
Juice
gonna happen.
Add the juice.
Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. This is the tough one because he plays the Jets, but it's gonna happen. Chris Olave, they're going to do some crazy deep.
That one's tough.
Hold on, before I go to Chris Olave. Tony Pollard, they're going to do some deep PI shit that the Cowboys are going to get, and then they're going to move into the red zone, and then they're going to give it to Pollard, and that's how it's going to happen. I doubt they'll move down the whole field without any penalties, and then somehow Pollard can get it. Yeah, but he's not going to get a breakaway touchdown versus Jets, let's be honest. That defense looks stout.
Yeah, I mean, most likely
And this could be a very low-scoring game without their defense.
The Cowboys should outplay the Jets just because of Wilson. Anyways, keep going.
And then the next one is Chris Olave, touchdown.
That's wild.
Like I said, Panthers dude that showed up last year. He was a rookie. I don't know why I can't think of his name, but he's out.
Horn?
Yeah. He's out. So that helps Chris Olave a lot. Then you also have, what's his name? Old dude, Michael Thomas. He is still on the field, and he should be able to pull away some coverage while you have the top corner out. And even if Chris Olave gets the best corner after him, great. So be it. But Chris Olave is, I believe, a slot guy as well, right?
No, he plays more deep than he plays slot. More deep? I mean, he plays both, but yeah, that's Michael's what I thought.
Especially when Michael Thomas was out. But either way, I can see him get that touchdown. That is one of the tougher ones as well. That one and Gibbs for me. And then Nick Chubb versus Pittsburgh. It's fucking happening. Let's be honest. So you do Chubb, Olave, Pollard, Barkley, Kelsey, Chase, Gibbs, or you want to switch one of those up with Robinson. Go for it. That's at 17,688 odds. And if that hits, you will definitely be seeing a share of that for sure if you are a listener.
All right, roll into the lock.
All right, lock of the week.
Yeah.
What is it?
Juicy lock.
You got it first.
All right, I got negative 126 odds.
126?
Negative 126.
Okay.
So obviously a little bit juicy. Just a little bit, but still
that's fine for lock. Money.
So we're staying in the same game, 2 legs. We got the Packers plus 7.5 alternate spread. So they can't lose by more than a touchdown versus the Falcons. And an alternate over of 34.5.
Packers plus 7.5.
Yep.
Let's get this straight. Versus Falcons. I think Packers are going to win, are going to be able to cover by minus 1.5. So you're taking them at plus 7. So that's definitely going to happen. And then what's the second one?
And then over 34.5.
Over 34.5 for that game?
Yeah. So that's probably the tougher line, but
I like it as long as Falcons can score, because it's not going to go over if it's Falcons can't score.
I think the Packers are overall better team, and they're gonna pretty much.
I think they're going
to expose Ritter a little bit just because of how he threw 18 passes last week. 18, like they're gonna. I mean, Bijan's still gonna have a decent game, but if all they're doing is running, the Packers are just gonna play towards that. And the Packers have more than enough weapons even without Aaron Jones.
I see this game at like 44-46, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think it'd be closer to 40s, and it'd be a somewhat close game. But the Packers should be able to win it, and even if they don't, plus 7.5.
Like it. I like it.
So 5 units on that. Spank it. Lock it.
All right. Well, let's hope both of our locks hit, because if both of our locks hit, our combined points are going to be great, which means you can start following us once again, because obviously we shit the bed last week. Because my next one is going to be
tell me what you got.
10 units. We got 10 units on this boy.
Oh, I thought you did 10 units.
10 units on this boy at
is it one leg?
Yes, it is one leg. It is minus 106 too. I don't know what it's at now. You want to check what it's at right now? Saints.
Yeah, I'm about to take the bet with you.
Saints, New Orleans Saints -3. They are playing the Panthers. I promise you, Thorne, whatever his name is, the rookie dude is out now. We got Chris Olave. We got Michael Thomas. We got Javonte Williams, Jamal Williams in the backfield. We got Derek Carr getting freaking silence blockers on his mask or his helmet or whatever, so he doesn't have to hear the crowd noise at the Panther Stadium. And you got Taysom, if he wants to run, he can get some like 50 to 100 yards in as well if he wants to do that. They got an amazing defense. They just played who they play last week?
Titans.
We just went over Titans. Titans defense looked very good, so they didn't score as much. -3.
Yeah, it's still -106.
Still -106. We are taking the 10 units, bringing in large boys. If we hit this and Josh hits his, that is the main goal, and we will have a great combined units, and we will easily be a quarter of our way to the plus 100 units. So let's roll it up. This is easily my favorite game of the week. Unfortunately, it's on Monday though, so you got to wait. And I can't make this into a reel. I'll probably just make it into a reel straight from the podcast, so look out for that as well. And as far as Thursday night games go and Monday night games go, most of the time, go over on our YouTube page, Instagram page, Facebook page, or Twitter, and give us a follow while you're at it, or share it with a friend. We have the reels for those games, so that way we don't have to do a whole podcast on it. You could just get what you need and follow if you want to, or bet against us if you want to, or just talk shit if you want to, whatever you want to do. So we hope you have a great week. Enjoy the rest of it. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.
Late.